Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the world of hidden treasures, your pocket change. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just blow your mind, the 1969 D Lincoln penny. That's right, a humble little 1-cent piece that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million in today's market. Yes, you heard that correctly, $1.1 million. You're going about your day, maybe buying a cup of coffee, and the cashier hands you back some change. You glance down and see a worn-out penny. Do you toss it into your coin jar, or do you take a closer look? If it's a 1969 D penny, you might want to inspect it like a detective on a crime scene, because you could be sitting on a life-changing payday. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find these rare pennies, and how to cash in if you've got one. Plus, I've got a funny little story about how I almost spent a valuable penny on a vending machine snack. Talk about dodging a bullet. Let's get into it. The 1969 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has the little D mint mark right under the date. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary penny you've seen a million times before. But here's where things get interesting. The biggest reason this penny is worth serious money is because of a rare error called the double die obverse. This means that during the minting process, the design was accidentally struck twice, causing the text and images on the coin to appear slightly doubled. If you look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date 1969, you might see a shadowy, doubled effect. That's the golden ticket, my friend. Now, not every 1969 D penny has this error, which is why finding one is like winning the lottery, except your ticket might already be in your pocket. Now, let's talk about grading. If your 1969 D penny has the double die and is in mint condition, meaning it looks almost brand new with hardly any wear, it can fetch well over $1.1 million at an auction. Even if it's in decent shape, it could still be worth thousands of dollars. A well-circulated coin might not hit the $1 million mark, but hey, finding a penny worth a few $1,000s is still a huge win. So, if you find a 1969 D penny, handle it like you just picked up a rare artifact from a museum, gently, carefully, and with lots of excitement. If you're like me, you probably have a random jar of pennies collecting dust. Time to go treasure hunting. Older folks tend to hold on to coins for decades. Who knows? They might have a 1969 D penny just sitting in a drawer, waiting to make someone rich. Go to the bank, get a few rolls of pennies, and start searching. It's like scratch-off tickets but way more fun. A few years ago, I was digging through my loose change, looking for enough to grab a quick snack from a vending machine. I spotted a shiny penny and was about to drop it in when my friend, who happens to be a coin nerd, literally tackled my arm to stop me. I thought he was losing it until he grabbed the penny, took a closer look, and let out a gasp that I swear shook the whole room. Turns out, it was a double die penny, not from 1969 D, but another valuable year. I ended up selling it for a few $100, which, let's be honest, is way better than a bag of stale chips. Moral of the story? Check your change before you spend it. The surprising value of the 1969 D Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that a simple 1-cent coin could be worth over $1 million? If you've got one, congratulations. And if you don't, well, now you know what to look for. Before you go, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more coin hunting tips and hidden treasures that could be lurking in your pocket right now. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you've accidentally spent one like I almost did. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change to grab a snack, and boom, you find a penny. Not just any penny, though. A 2002 D Lincoln penny. You're about to toss it into the change jar, but what if I told you that tiny, copper-colored coin could be worth a life-changing $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.2 million. For a penny. Makes you want to go check your piggy bank, huh? Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into why this coin is worth so much, how you can spot one, and what makes it so darn special. So, let's talk about this 2002 D Lincoln penny. Now, if you're like most people, you probably don't give pennies much thought. I mean, let's be real, most of us leave them in tip jars or lose them under car seats. But every once in a while, a rare one slips into circulation, and collectors go crazy for it. That's exactly what's happening with this penny. Well, it's all about errors and minting quirks. This particular penny has a rare die variety, which means something went wrong during production. Sometimes it's a doubled die, sometimes it's a misalignment, and in some cases, the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. Think of it like a factory making a batch of cookies, but one cookie accidentally gets chocolate chips and caramel while the others are plain. Boom! Suddenly, you have the golden cookie everyone wants at first. Check for the D-Mint mark under the year 2002. That tells us it was made in Denver. Next, look for any errors, things like doubling in Lincoln's face or letters, extra thickness in the date, or even off-center strikes. If your penny looks a little funky, you might be in luck. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was going through his old childhood coin collection. You know, the kind of collection every kid starts with a few random pennies and nickels. He was just casually flipping through his old coins when he noticed one looked a little different. A little weird. So, he Googled it. And guess what? That little weird penny turned out to be a rare error penny worth thousands. Mike, the guy who used to trade coins for gumballs, now had enough money to take a trip to Europe. Talk about a glow-up. Now, back to this 2002 D penny. The most valuable one to ever sell at auction went for a staggering $1.2 million. Why? Because it had a unique minting error and was in nearly perfect condition. That's another thing, condition is key. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine one too many times, its value might be lower. But if it's crisp and clean, you could be looking at a jackpot. First, don't spend it. Second, grab a magnifying glass and examine the details. If it looks like it has errors, take it to a professional coin appraiser or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks will authenticate it and give you an official grade, which can dramatically impact the value. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today. Who knew a tiny 2002 D penny could be worth so much? It just goes to show that treasure isn't always buried in the ground, it might just be hiding in your pocket. So, before you dismiss your loose change, take a second look. You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more insider tips and crazy coin discoveries coming your way. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let's hear your stories. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some loose change to feed the vending machine. You pull out a penny, flip it over, and wait a second, it's a 1973 D Lincoln penny. Could this little copper coin actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Sounds crazy, right? But hang tight, because today, we're diving deep into the surprising value of the 1973 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny. You're going to learn why it's worth so much, how to spot the valuable ones, and how to turn your pocket change into a potential goldmine. And, of course, I'll throw in some laughs along the way, because, let's be honest, talking about pennies shouldn't be dull. First, let's go back in time. The year is 1973, bell bottoms are in, disco fever is spreading, and Richard Nixon is still in the White House, for now. The US Mint is cranking out billions of Lincoln pennies, including those struck at the Denver Mint, which bear the tiny D-Mint mark now. Normally, these pennies wouldn't raise any eyebrows. They were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, pretty standard stuff. But here's where things get interesting. Some rare error coins from this batch have sold for staggering amounts at auction, leaving collectors stunned. And let's be real, who wouldn't want to cash in big on a penny? Well, my friend, let me tell you, it's all about the errors and condition. Some 1973 D pennies have crazy mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, or even a transitional metal composition. These rare slip-ups can make the coin worth thousands, or even millions. Coin collectors go nuts for pennies in pristine condition. If your 1973 D penny has never been tossed in a parking lot, chewed on by a toddler, or run through the laundry, you might have a winner. Look for sharp details, full wheat lines, and minimal scratches. Some of these pennies were minted under unique circumstances, and a select few have surfaced at high-end auctions with shocking price tags. We're talking over $1 million for the right coin in the right condition. Alright, time to get hands-on. Here's what you need to do to see if your 1973 D penny is worth the big bucks, because squinting at tiny details is not fun. Especially on Liberty and In God We Trust. Examine the edges. If it looks unusually thick or thin, it might be a rare error. Weigh the coin. A normal 1973 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you might have something special. If you find anything unusual, get that penny graded. Professional coin graders can authenticate and value your coin, which could mean the difference between 1 cent and $1.3 million. Big difference, right? Because I know some of you are thinking, this can't be real. A few years ago, I was at a flea market and saw a guy selling an old jar of pennies for $5. Being the coin nerd that I am, I took the gamble. I sat down later that night, sifting through them, and boom, I found a 1973 D penny that looked different. Long story short, I had it checked out, and while it wasn't worth millions, it did sell for a nice chunk of change. Let's just say I treated myself to a steak dinner that night. The surprising truth about the 1973 D Lincoln penny. Who knew a simple little coin could be worth over $1 million? Now, before you run off to check your piggy banks, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more videos coming your way on rare coins, valuable finds, and strategies to turn your pocket change into serious cash. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Let's hear those stories. Hey, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that tiny little copper coin in your pocket could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. The 2017 D Lincoln penny might just be hiding a fortune, and today, we're diving deep into what makes it so valuable, how to spot one, and why you should start paying attention to your pocket change. So, grab your coin jar, get comfy, and let's talk money. Alright, first, let's break down what makes this particular penny so special. The 2017 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, marked with the little d under the year on the front of the coin. Now, most of these pennies are just regular OL pennies worth, well, a penny. But some rare errors and variations have made a few of these coins worth an absolute fortune. One of the main reasons this penny has skyrocketed in value is due to an extremely rare minting error. Ever heard of doubled dies? That's when parts of the coin's design appear duplicated due to a misalignment during minting. Some 2017 D pennies feature a dramatic doubling, particularly on Lincoln's profile, the date, or the lettering. If you spot this error, congratulations! You just found yourself a mini jackpot, but wait, there's more. Another key error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. And then, of course, there are the ultra-rare satin finish coins mistakenly released into circulation. These are like finding a unicorn at a petting zoo. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to make fun of me for collecting coins. He'd say, "Man, you're looking for pennies while I'm trying to make dollars." Fast forward a few years, and guess who found a rare penny in his own pocket change? Yep, Dave. That penny sold for thousands at auction. And let me tell you, I have never seen someone switch hobbies faster in my life. He went from roasting me to calling me for coin hunting advice. Start with your everyday change. Seriously. Check the couch, the cup holder in your car, and that random jar of coins you've been ignoring for years. Also, be on the lookout at banks, roll hunting, or even coin shows where collectors trade these valuable finds. And now, for the most exciting part, how much is this little beauty actually worth? If you find a rare error penny in good condition, it could easily sell for thousands of dollars. But the absolute best graded, most pristine examples have been valued at a staggering $1.4 million. That's enough to turn your piggy bank into a piggy mansion. So, the next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it in the tip jar or let it roll under the fridge. Take a second, give it a good look. You might just be holding onto a hidden fortune. And if you love discovering rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more coin hunting tips coming your way. Who knows? The next rare penny we talk about might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Alright, picture this: you're digging for change at the bottom of your couch, maybe hoping for a quarter so you don't have to break $1 at the vending machine. But instead, you pull out a plain old 2016 Lincoln penny. Looks normal, right? Just another tiny piece of copper-coated change that barely buys you a breath of fresh air. Yes, you heard that right. That little piece of copper could be your ticket to an early retirement, a dream vacation, or at the very least, the world's fanciest cup of coffee. Today, we're diving deep into the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, and how you can tell if you have one sitting in your change jar right now. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your pocket for hidden treasure. Now, before we start fantasizing about rolling in money like Scrooge McDuck, let's talk about what makes this penny so valuable. For those new to coin collecting, US pennies are usually minted in three main locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Normally, pennies made in Philly don't have a mint mark, and that's totally normal. But in rare cases, an error or special condition can make these coins ultra-valuable. It turns out some of these pennies had unusual minting errors, doubling in design, off-center strikes, or even unexpected metal compositions. These quirks make them incredibly rare, and rare means valuable. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare Pokemon card, except this one could pay your mortgage. Look closely. If the text, date, or Lincoln's face looks slightly doubled or off, you could be onto something big. Grab a magnifying glass if you have to. Yes, you'll look like Sherlock Holmes, but trust me, it's worth it. Coins are graded on a scale, with mint state coins, ones that look fresh out of the factory, being worth the most. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, it might not hit that $1 million mark, but it could still fetch a pretty penny. Some 2016 pennies were mistakenly struck on older blanks with a different weight or metal content. If your penny feels a little off, it might be time to get it checked, because yes, this actually happened. A guy from Ohio, let's call him Steve, was sorting through his old change when he spotted an odd-looking 2016 penny. He took it to a coin dealer, and bam. Turns out, it was an ultra-rare misprint worth over $1 million. Can you imagine? That's like finding a winning lottery ticket in your pocket and realizing you've been walking around with it for years. Alright, folks, if this video has taught you anything, it's that your spare change might not be so spare after all. Who knew that a tiny penny from 2016 could be worth millions? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips on hidden coin treasures, crazy values, and strategies to help you spot money-making coins before anyone else does. And hey, if you do find one of these rare 2016 pennies, drop a comment below and let me know. I might just feature your story in my next video. Hey, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this: you're digging through your loose change, looking for a snack fund, and bam. You spot a 1979 D Lincoln penny. You think, it's just a penny, and toss it back in the pile. But what if I told you that tiny coin could be worth $1.6 million? Yes, you heard me right. A single penny worth more than a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or even a lifetime supply of tacos. Stick around because I'm breaking down exactly why this humble penny is raking in millions, how to tell if you've got one, and a hilarious story about how I almost spent one of my most valuable coins on a vending machine snack. Yeah, it still haunts me. Alright, let's get to the juicy details. The 1979 D Lincoln penny is not your ordinary coin. While billions of pennies were minted that year, only a few rare errors and conditions make some of them worth life-changing amounts of money. That little D under the date stands for Denver, where it was minted. But not all Denver pennies are valuable. Only specific errors and conditions make them worth a fortune. Some 1979 D pennies were struck with a doubling error. This means the lettering, date, or even Lincoln's face might look slightly doubled. If you see this, you might be holding a gold mine, well, a copper mine, but you get what I mean. Most pennies from 1979 are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but a few were mistakenly struck on planchets, coin blanks, meant for nickels or dimes. If your penny feels heavier or has a silver-like shine, get that thing checked immediately. If your penny looks like it's been through a blender, it's probably not worth millions. But if it's shiny, uncirculated, and well-preserved, you're in business. Coins graded MS67 or higher, basically, the supermodels of the penny world, are where the serious money is at. Now, let me tell you about the absolute gut-wrenching mistake I almost made. A few years ago, I was at an airport, craving a snack. I dug into my pocket and pulled out some change, including a 1979 D penny I had picked up from a garage sale coin lot. I was about to feed it into a vending machine when I decided, let me check this one later. That exact penny, when I later had it appraised, turned out to be worth thousands. I was this close to trading a future fortune for a pack of peanut M&Ms. Lesson learned, my friends, always check your change before spending it. Well, high-end collectors and auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers are where the big money moves. Don't take it to a random pawn shop, they'll probably offer you a few bucks and a confused look. Politely, of course. Because that tiny 1979 D Lincoln penny in your pocket could change your life forever. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found an old coin that turned out to be valuable? Drop your stories in the comments, and hey, if you love learning about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I've got more insane coin stories coming up, including one about a nickel worth more than a Ferrari. Yep, you won't want to miss that. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious collectors. Have you ever checked your pockets and wondered if that penny rattling around could be worth more than just a cent? Well, hold on to your hats because today, we're talking about one of the most unexpected treasures in the world of coin collecting, the 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And guess what? This little copper wonder is worth a whopping $1.7 million in today's market. Worth that much? It sounds like a plot twist straight out of a mystery novel. But stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll be scrambling to check every penny you've ever tossed into your junk drawer. The 1963 Lincoln penny was minted during an era when pennies were still primarily made of 95% copper. Back then, a penny could actually buy you something, unlike today, where you'd need a small mountain of them just to get a stick of gum. But what makes this particular penny so valuable isn't just its age or composition, it's the fact that it has no mint mark and some very rare minting errors. Great question. Pennies without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While this wasn't uncommon, what makes certain 1963 pennies stand out is their unique errors and pristine condition. Some of these pennies were struck on experimental planchets, while others have dramatic die errors, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after. Alright, here's where things get exciting. If you want to know whether your old 1963 penny is worth more than just pocket change, here's what to look for. If Lincoln's hair, beard, and suit details look crisp and well-defined, you might have a high-grade penny. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," and the date. If you see any shadow-like doubling, that's a minting error known as a doubled die. If part of the design looks shifted or cut off, that's a minting flaw that could increase its value. Coins that have been well preserved and still shine with a copper-red color are worth more than those that have turned brown over time. And now, if your 1963 penny checks off one or more of these features, you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my uncle, who's never thrown away a single coin in his life, gave me an old jar of pennies he'd been collecting since he was a kid. "You might find something valuable in there," he said with a wink. At first, I laughed it off, thinking it was just a bucket of ordinary pennies. But one night, I started sifting through them, and boom, there it was. A 1963 penny with a nearly flawless strike and a small doubling on the date. It was valued at over $10,000. While it wasn't one of the million-dollar ones, finding that kind of hidden treasure in a dusty old jar was a thrill. It made me realize just how many people could be sitting on valuable coins without even knowing it. Well, rarity drives value in the coin collecting world. The fewer high-quality examples there are, the more collectors are willing to pay for them. A top-graded, mint-condition 1963 no-mint mark penny with unique errors is considered a holy grail for numismatists. Some collectors and investors are willing to pay sky-high prices just to own a piece of history. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, it's time to take action. If you have a jar of old pennies, a piggy bank, or even a random stash in your car's cup holder, take a few minutes to check for a 1963 no-mint mark penny. You never know, you might be sitting on a fortune. And hey, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain interesting, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video about valuable coins and money-making strategies. I've got tons of exciting content coming your way, from rare pennies to nickels that could buy you a house. Hey there, coin hunters. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2019 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into this mind-blowing coin, why it's so valuable, and how you might just have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. So, grab your spare change and let's get into it. it's just a penny from 2019. That's not even old. And you'd be right, but here's where things get crazy. This specific penny has a rare error that makes collectors go absolutely nuts. Imagine you're out buying a coffee, you hand over some change, and the cashier unknowingly gives you a small fortune in return. That's what we're dealing with here, so let's break this down. The 2019 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers, sure, but some were struck with serious mistakes. These rare errors are what send collectors into a frenzy, willing to pay life-changing amounts of money just to own one. Alright, let's talk about what makes this particular penny so valuable. Some of these pennies were minted with a double die error, that means the design was stamped twice, creating a unique, almost ghost-like effect on Lincoln's face or the lettering. Another reason? Striking anomalies. A small batch of these pennies was mistakenly minted on the wrong metal planchet, making them look slightly different and super rare. Because this is a recent coin, most people don't even know to look for it. That's why one lucky person found this $1 million penny in their pocket change, completely unaware of its value at first. Imagine almost spending it on a vending machine snack. Talk about a near disaster. Okay, now that I've got your attention, let's talk about what to actually look for so you don't accidentally spend your fortune on a pack of gum. Grab your magnifying glass, or just squint really hard, and check for these signs. Look closely at Lincoln's face and the lettering, especially "In God We Trust." If you see a shadow or doubling effect, bingo, some of these pennies were struck on different materials, making them appear slightly off in color or weight. Look for off-center strikes, missing letters, or even a floating Lincoln head. Any of these can add huge value. Alright, time for a personal story. A few years ago, my friend Jake was always making fun of me for being obsessed with coins. He'd say, "Dude, it's just pocket change. Nobody cares." Fast forward to last year, he calls me, voice shaking, and says, "I think I found one of those rare pennies you keep talking about." I rush over to his place, we check it under a magnifying glass, and turns out it was just a normal, beat-up penny. He was crushed. He got so into the hunt that now he's the one checking every penny he gets. The lesson? Never underestimate the power of penny hunting. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot. The next time you get a 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside, inspect it. You might be holding on to $1 million treasure without even realizing it. And if you do find one? Well, let's just say, maybe take an early retirement. Now, if you love learning about valuable coins and want to hear more crazy stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more hidden treasures, coin collecting tips, and money-making strategies. Don't forget to drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you're about to start checking your change obsessively after this video.